Court of Appeal in Abuja has set aside the judgment of the Federal High Court in Abuja, which ordered the People's Democratic Party to allow the participation of 381 ad hoc delegates in the February 22, 2024 primary election. The already conducted primary election had produced Asue Ighodalo as the party's candidate for the September 21, 2024 governorship election in Edo State. A three-man panel of the appellate court set aside the judgment of Justice Edo State delivered on 4th of July 2024 on the grounds that the trial court lacked jurisdiction to entertain the suit of the aggrieved delegates in the first place, having lacked the necessary legal rights to initiate the suit. In a unanimous decision, the court held that it cannot interfere with how the PDP selects its candidate for the September 21 governorship election in Edo State. Justice Ekwo of the Federal High Court in Abuja had, in July, voided the PDP governorship election in Edo State on the ground that 378 delegates who were supposed to vote at the primary election were unlawfully excluded by the party. The suit was instituted by one Calvin Mohammed in a representative capacity. Justice Ekwo held that both the provisions of the Electoral Act 2022 and the PDP guidelines were violated in the conduct of the primary election at the Samuel Ebumudia Stadium in Benin City, the Edo State capital. Justice Ekwo, who said that exhibit PDP 1 tendered by the party was bereft of evidence, held that the plaintiffs, through the exhibits tendered, were able to establish their case against the defendants. The judge said that from the exhibit presented by the PDP, he found that the returning officers who prepared the result sheets only sat down in a place to manufacture the outcome of the poll. He said the exclusion of the 381 delegates, including the plaintiffs, was against the provisions of the law. The 381 delegates are those loyal to the embattled Deputy Governor, Philip Shaibu. What is your take on this recent court judgment?
Well, there are two things that I will have to make my own opinion.
All right.
You know, I mean, the court has ruled. There's nothing we can do. The only people that can quash that judgment now is the Supreme Court, if they so go to the Supreme Court. But there is something I want to say. For instance, let me use the constitution of the APC to say this. Now, in APC, it is the State Executive Committee that will decide whether we will go by direct election or indirect election or by voice vote. Okay. So, firstly, you have to satisfy that we agreed to do voice vote. And if we agree to go on voice vote, for instance, it means that there are also criteria for you to come to before you now do the voice vote. And so that means that upon going for the primaries, you go through the voice vote. Now, if you have agreed to go for voice vote, and then you come back not doing the voice vote, and somebody goes to court to say, well, you didn't go through the voice vote that we have agreed, and you now said, no, you don't have right to interfere in the party's primaries. What are you saying? You're saying that the law, because before a political party is registered, they are registered with their constitution, isn't it? So it is the constitution that they have registered that you use to judge them. And so the Court of Appeal. But you see, if you look at it, they intelligently have to also remove themselves from that by talking about the locus of the court, whether they still have the jurisdiction to so do, and then again, those who should go to court, because if you are also not an aspirant, you do not have right to go to court. That's the thing. If you are not an aspirant, so if those
the matter does not have merit.
It doesn't have merit. So there's no matter at all. If you are not an aspirant, why are you going to court? You're not an aspirant.
He said in a representative capacity.
Representative how? It is the aspirant that will go to court. Then you will now come as witness that, look, I'm a delegate, I didn't vote. So it is the aspirant. So the aspirant shied away
from it. And in this instance, no aspirant.
No aspirant. So you do not have
the outcome of that election.
So they will say you cannot build something on nothing. That's just what it is. So what the Court of Appeal has ruled is that, no, it looks to the court in the first instance that nobody came to court. Nobody approached the court because it did not even have right to approach the court.
That was why they voided the judgment of the lower court, because they
That
said
was why
they don't even have jurisdiction to entertain the matter, because the people that initiated the suit lacked jurisdiction.
They lacked jurisdiction. That was why I was telling in Rivers State, I was talking to our people in Rivers State, I said, why will somebody go to court to say that the 27 lawmakers defected when you are not a member of the PDP, you are not the executive of the PDP. It is the party that should go to court. It is the APC that will go and support. So it is a party against party, not you as an individual. So you don't go to court on something that you do not. Chairman is like me coming to, God forbid, they are having issues with your family, and I go to court to say, look, Chairman should divorce.
And you say in a representative
capacity, how? I didn't want to represent the lawyer. His lawyer should represent him. He should go to court and the lawyer is representing him.
Okay, now interestingly, the court also said that they removed themselves from the activities of the parties and said that they do not have a hand in how the parties select their candidates. Yes. Now, over and over again, we see this playing out where the court comes out to say, however, the party is going about their business. It's not the business of the court. And of course, the party also have internal mechanisms for reconciliation and appeal and all of that. The question in the first place would be, did these people even make use of these internal mechanisms, or they felt it's already against them? Because, I mean, the party as a whole had taken a stand. That's on one hand. If you marry it to the issues of political party internal crisis and all of that happening across the states, different states, you would see the same courts accepting issues, ruling on party matters, on party crisis. Chizzy, make it make sense to me, because this is the appeal court saying that, I mean, we cannot interfere in how the party run their internal affairs. That
is what I'm saying. Of course, you know what has happened to our nation. Different stroke to different people. It looks like, if, for instance, an aspirant had approached the court, in this instance, if an aspirant had approached the court to say this was not meant, and you can produce documents that have said that it was not meant, then the court will begin to look at that, the merit of the matter. Now, some faceless individual comes to say, have you noticed that the party can also say they are not even delegates? What makes you delegate? It is the party that submits delegates to the court. So the court can say, if the aspirant had gone to the court to say, look, this is what has happened, and these are delegates, and the court will say, submit the names of your delegate, and the party will submit the names of their delegate and find out that these people were delegates and that they didn't vote. That's why you begin to look at these things. But in certain cases, where you are proving your case, first the aspirant went to court, proved their case. After all, in the case of Amechi in 2007 or 6, he went to court to say that he was the authentic person that was elected. And the court ruled that, the Supreme Court ruled that, in the eyes of the law, that Omeha was not even a candidate and was not an aspirant. And the party supported him. And then he won that. So, but in this instance, somebody is contesting the election, somebody is aspiring to run, and then he's shying away from it. It looks like he has conceded to what they are doing. You are going to do. It looks, for me, they are not members of the party.
Well, for lack of time, we would have delved into how the primaries were conducted. In this instance, did Shaibu even, was he present in the PDP primaries, or did he also have his own primaries. At his own separate quarters in his house?
And who conducted it?
Who conducted it?
Which
interestingly, INEC was even present there.
In his own also?
Of course. So these are the issues. Moving on, it's the interesting time still ahead in Edo State as they near their election for September 21. We'll keep you updated on Edo State's Guba story.